Hey, what's up guys, Emerald Viking Prime here with my top 10 favorite Pokemon games ever. And welcome to day 5 of my Poké Week. Anyway, let's get started. Number 10 is Black 2 and White 2, Pokemon. Specifically. Of course, you guys already know that. These games are number 10 because even though they're pretty good games, and I do recommend them for those who want a challenge, because these actually feature a challenge mode once you beat them. Specifically, once you beat Black 2, you unlock challenge mode where you could make the game's difficulty a little higher, or easy mode, which you can make the game a little lower or easier. But you could transfer the easy mode from one game to another, which I recommend, and then start the game there, because it's just a lot of fun. It's super challenging, and the trainers in the games, specifically the gym leaders and the champions, sometimes either get a new Pokemon entirely, or just their Pokemon are a little higher leveled and they have a different moveset. So it's like, you know, if you want a quick challenge, it's really cool. But the reason why these are number 10 is because Gen 5 is actually one of my least favorite generations to be released, honestly, and I just couldn't really put this up higher on the list. I'm sorry. But I do really enjoy it, though. It's kind of one of my guilty pleasures, honestly. So I recommend these games for anyone, specifically Black 2, because I think Black 2 unlocks the challenge mode. Then you could get another copy of White 2 and transfer it, so you could have another challenge. That's what I recommend. Look it up online somewhere if you want more information about it. Anyway, moving on. Number 9. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. They're basically the same game, so I'm not going to count them as separate. Just one has more features and is updated and stuff like that. Pokemon Stadium features every Pokemon in Generation 1 except the legendaries. Well, Mewtwo and Mew, I mean. And you could fight all 8 gym leaders. You could fight this cool stadium battle mode, and you could fight your friends multiplayer, one-on-one, and stuff like that. It's just really cool. They also have mini games which are up to 4 players and stuff like that. I really like it. This game has every Pokemon in Gen 1 and Gen 2 except for Mew and Mewtwo. And basically has the same features I have, except I like this one more because it's, of course, updated. Has better mini games in my opinion, and I just like it a lot more. It also has the mini game features and the stadium features and stuff like that. And you can fight all Gen 2 gym leaders and even all the Gen 1 gym leaders after you beat the Gen 2 ones. So it has a lot to offer. Definitely a fun game to play when you want to pass the time. And yeah, I love the game. It's just a pastime for me. You guys can't really see it, but I do have an N64 over there, so I probably will play this once I'm done recording this video, honestly. It's just one of those fun games. I really like it. I can't say enough about it. It's number 9 on this list, though, because I just like the other games on this list a bit more myself. But hey, I highly recommend getting one of these games if you can find it in a retro game store, on eBay or on Amazon or wherever. Just be warned that some of them are fake, and you want to make sure it's real if you're smart enough to look for that kind of stuff. So I'm just warning you. Anyway, number 8 is Pokemon Emerald for the Game Boy Advanced, or GBA for short. Pokemon Emerald is just one of those games I really do like playing, but I've only really beaten it once, and I don't really have the need to play it anymore because I do have the remakes for Ruby and Sapphire, so I don't really need to play this much anymore. But it is the better version of the GBA Red, Ruby, and Sapphire, because it's like the updated version, has better mechanics and stuff like that. And it basically combines both games, because you do fight members from Team Aqua and members from Team Magma. So it's kind of fun. I usually always choose Mudkip for my starter, but sometimes I go with Torchic if I want to try something a little different. I hardly use Trico, honestly. I don't know why. I never really use him. Especially because at the time of this game, Trico kind of sucked because of his moves and stuff like that and his stats. But then during the special physical split, he got a lot better, but no one could use him since he was unavailable until the new remakes came out. Anyway, I highly recommend getting this game. It's really fun. It's actually one of the last games It's funny because I got this at GameStop before they stopped selling GBA games and classic games like that, and now they're selling those games again, but usually the good ones are always gone, and there's always like 1 or 2 crappy games I never want to get there. Number 8, Moving on, number 7, Pokemon Colosseum. This game is underestimated. I love this game. It is just one of those fun, different Pokemon games, and I always love different Pokemon games. Like games that don't really follow the main story of the games. It's like its own thing. It has a different good story and good mechanics and things like that. This game has that. It is fantastic. Basically, you start off as, well, unnamed trainer. I forgot his official name. It's like Wes or something like that. Anyway, you start off as your trainer Wes, is what I'll call him, and basically you have to, you're a Pokemon bandit. You actually steal other people's Pokemon, but at one point you find out that what your team is planning and stuff, so you actually steal a piece of tech that allows you to steal your trainer's Pokemon, and you pretty much start as a bad guy, but then you become a good guy pretty shortly after that. And then you meet Rui, who has the power to send shadow Pokemon, and basically it's up to you and Rui in order to catch all the shadow Pokemon before they can hurt anybody and save the world, or the region, from them. So that's pretty much the story. If you catch every single Pokemon in this game, which there's about 50 something, I think 50 or 60 Pokemon total, including legendaries, and fight 100 trainers at the Battle Mountain or whatever it's called, and then their champion, you get to get a Ho-Oh as a reward for beating all of them. And I have never done that. I've actually catched all the trainers, but I've never battled all 100 people yet. 100 trainers. I caught all the Pokemon once, but I'm not gonna do the 100 battle thing. No, that's crazy. But it's just a fun game. I highly recommend it for those who want to play it. And yeah, moving on. Number 6, Fire Red. Fire Red is the remix for Red and Blue, or Green if you want to say it, because the other game is Leaf Green. And it's just, I love playing it. It's basically the same thing except for Emerald. It brings me back. It's really fun. It's a better version of the old games. I usually choose Squirtle or Bulbasaur, and I'm not really a Charizard fan at all, guys. I'm not. He's overused in my opinion. He's kind of not really as good as the other two starters, and honestly, I mean, sure, he's okay, but Squirtle, Blastoise is probably the best out of the three because he could take so many hits. He's one of the tankiest Pokemon in the game. I'd rather last longer in battle than get more hits out or damage, you know, that kind of thing. But I just love this game. It's fun. It's just, you know, fun traveling the Kanto region and stuff like that. I recommend it if you could find one. And Red and Blue and Yellow are coming out pretty soon, and actually, yeah, so if you want a Gen 1 game, get those, or find this online, and yeah. But be warned, there are still fake copies of these online. Like, these GBA games are like the easiest games to make fakes of, so you need to find a good source online, alright? Moving on, number 5, Pokemon XD Gale Darkness, and which is also the sequel to Colosseum, by the way. Basically, you have a new character, official name Michael, and basically you get this technology, which is like the updated version of Wes's arm, and it also has the ability to sense shadow Pokemon, so you don't have to have like another person with you, which was Rui. By the way, Rui was a useless character. The only thing she had the only usefulness she had was the ability of sensing shadow Pokemon, but she did nothing else but that. Like, she was not a person who battled at all. So it was just you basically protecting her from the bad guys. Anyway, basically you, as Michael, pretty much travel around and doing the same thing that Wes did years ago, because I think this is like 3 years after the story of Wes. Anyway, yeah, you just travel the Ore region and catch shadow Pokemon and fight the bad guy. That's pretty much it. And I don't think there's any specific award to beating this one other than getting Shadow Lugia at the end of the game. Which, by the way, if you still have your Mestable at that time, use it. Actually, no, I think I heard somewhere don't use your Shadow Ball because there's one battle after that you want to use it on. Anyway, I like this game. Find it online and get it. And Colosseum. They're fun Pokemon games. They feel different, and if you want to watch a Let's Play, at least watch Chugga Conroy's Let's Play. He has a fantastic Let's Play on both games. I love his Let's Plays. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. Anyway, moving on. Number 4, Pokemon SoulSilver. Wow, good timing, Saber. Anyway, SoulSilver is just another remake. Pretty much all these are remakes of Gold and Silver from Gen 2. Basically, I would have Heart Gold with me too, but I actually sold my copy of Heart Gold a couple years ago, and I haven't gotten mine back anything yet. I really do want to get it back again though, because I kind of regret it selling it in the first place. I don't know why. I guess I just needed the quick money, but I just like this game. It's just a heck of fun to play. I again recommend it to anyone who wants to play a fun game, and a lot of people consider this the best Pokemon game ever made. I don't agree with it, but I do agree that it is a fantastic Pokemon game. Why it's a fantastic game is because you get to choose your Gen 2 starters, a Cyndaquil, a Chikorita, or a Totodile. Usually I choose Totodile because that's my personal favorite out of the three. And then you get to travel through the Kanto, or not the Kanto region, but the Johto region, and catching Gen 2 Pokemon and things like that. And then, once you defeat the Elite Four, you can travel the Kanto region, battle their gym leaders, battle the Elite Four again, and then the icing on the cake, you can battle Red, your previous trainer from Fire Red and Leaf Green. That blew my mind when I first played this game. I was like, holy crap, who the hell's that? Dot, 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 ton of dots. Battle. It was Red. Kicked his ass. Which is weird because he had like level 80 Pokemon, but his team was kind of easy to defeat. But yeah, I had a fun time. It was a good game. It's a game I really do want to play again, and I recommend it to anybody if you could find it. Especially with the Pokewalker, because I actually lost my Pokewalker, but those things are rare now. They're kind of not needed though, but you know. Number 3. Pokemon Platinum. This game has a special place in my heart as being one of my personal favorite Pokemon games ever. I love Pokemon Platinum, guys. I can't tell you enough. It is basically the better version of Diamond and Pearl by a long shot because it has updated mechanics, and the gym leader teams and Elite Four are much better in this game. And the gym leader order is actually a little different because they actually switch a few of them around just to, I don't know, make things easier, I guess. But I won't get into specifics about that. And the starters you get to choose from are Charmander, no, not Charmander, sorry, Chimchar, Piplup, and Turtwig. And I usually choose Piplup or Turtwig. I love Chimchar, don't get me wrong. I just don't use him that much. It's the reason why it's better is just because the mechanics are a little bit better and it's not as buggy. It's not bug. None of them are buggy, but it's not as difficult or weird. Like for some reason, a lot of the Elite Four had Pokemon on their team that they shouldn't have, but this game just made it a little bit better. And Giratina is one of my personal favorite legendaries. In fact, if you watch my top 10 favorite legendaries, you would know it's my 3rd favorite, I believe. I forgot the order exactly. It's not on the top of my head. Anyway, I highly recommend getting this game. There's a few copies available still out there in the wild for like $40, but sadly, it's going to be impossible for you to find one with a case like this. Like, yeah, trust me. Finding a case for the game is going to be pretty much nearly impossible if you could find one. So, I got lucky. I got lucky, guys. I got lucky. Moving on. Number 2, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Don't ask why the cases are like this. I kind of taped them when I first got them, and I forgot to remove the tape. It's permanent now. But this game brought in a lot of features. 1 second. Back to Platinum. Diamond and Pearl actually added in probably the most features in the Pokemon universe that any game has brought in. Because it did the physical special split, well, specifically Diamond and Pearl. It updated the graphics to what they used to be before this came out. And just a bunch of other stuff. It's just, you know, it made what the game today is, basically. Anyway, this game brought in even more features by upgrading the graphics from 2D pixels to 3D models, which is awesome, which kind of sucks too, because I love Pokemon sprites, and it's kind of hard to find the sprited versions of these. Seriously, I used to be into making sprites a lot when I was younger. I made some pretty good ones too. Though I don't know where they are anymore. I saved them to a folder on one of my older computers. But I just love these games. specifically for their story, for the gym leaders, for everything in the game to offer. It's just, and it brought in a few features such as Mega Evolution. Specifically, my favorite Mega Evolution this game brought in Garchomp. Love Garchomp. Freaking Green Reaper. Yeah, it's just also one of the biggest. Sorry, that was bad dab, and I'm pretty tired, and yeah. It brought in a lot of stuff, guys. This game is fantastic. I love the story. I love the characters and the Mega Evolutions, a couple other stuff like that. And the 3D models are fantastic. Except maybe Marshtomp. I kind of agree on that one. Kind of hurts me though because Marshtomp evolves into one of my favorite Pokemon ever. But yeah, what I can't. What can you do? Anyway, get this game if you want a fun game. And that leaves my number 1. I would do a recap, but honestly, I kind of forgot the recap. Forgot what order I did it in. But my number 1 is Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Best Pokemon games ever. I would tell you why I love these games so much, but honestly, I'm going to save that for the Saturday's video, because Saturday I'm going to make a video talking about like my history with Pokemon. So I'm going to save it for there. But these games are number 1 because, you know, I'll just get into this specific. Pokemon Sapphire was my first Pokemon game ever, so getting the remake for my first Pokemon game really meant a lot to me. So I really had to make these number 1. Plus, they have probably the best graphics, the best story overall, and just in general, I love them. And I usually choose Mudkip because that's my favorite Pokemon ever. Yeah. I do like Torchic and stuff and Trico. I'm not going to say I hate them all, but I'm just saying Torchic is kind of overused. Like, all the fire starters are always either overused because everyone likes them or are complete shit. Imbor. Yeah, I agree. I do not like Imbor. I mean, he's okay, but he could be better. Stop using firefighting. I know you stopped, but stop. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really, really like doing this video for you guys. And I'll see you guys next time. Train on.